So I decided to do something a little crazy today, and I'm taking a solo trip to Munich. I'm just going for 3 nights, and this is my first official solo trip by myself. I feel like when I go on work trips, sometimes they feel like solo trips because sometimes I just go out on the layovers by myself. But this is gonna be the first trip that I'm taking actually by myself, which is pretty wild. So I'm excited. First we go to Charlotte and then to Munich. I made it to Charlotte. I have 2 hours until the next flight. It's kind of wild that this is my first solo trip.
136, going to Key West.
I always feel like I solo travel because on my work trips, I'll go out by myself on layovers, but going there and back, I'm always with people and I already have the hotel figured out and transportation, so I don't even have to like think about anything. But this will be my first official solo trip in the sense that it's my days off. I'm not meeting anyone, I'm not going with anyone. I'm finding and booking hotels by myself, building my own itinerary. There's no one to help me with any of it. It's just me, myself, and I figuring out the train, all the things. So this will be exciting. I had a little bit of a mental breakdown this morning trying to figure out if I should go on this trip or not. Because it's just myself, if I were to cancel, it's not like I was canceling on a friend or anything, I'd just be canceling on myself, which in my mind I was like, it's easier to cancel that way. Although it's probably most important to keep promises to myself and commit to myself over everyone, but I wasn't really sure if I was up for it this week or not, but I knew I would regret it if I didn't step outside of my comfort zone a little bit and just do it. So here I am. And truthfully, I have a ton of work to get done on my phone and laptop, which I would have otherwise been doing on my couch at home. So now I'm just gonna be doing it from the plane, which will be nice. I'm barely into the travel day and my skin already feels so dry and horrendous. I have a little breakout here that I tried to cover with concealer, but it just isn't doing the job because my skin is so dry. I'm debating if I want to go get food and bring it on the plane or if I want to risk the meal options on the plane possibly being vegan. The chances are slim, but I intend to sleep for the majority of the flight because I want to start adjusting. And when we land, it'll be 7 a.m. So I kind of want to sleep the entire flight. So I could also just skip dinner. I think I might just not get something here. Maybe have a bite of a little something on the plane, like the little side salad or something, and then just pass out so that I feel well rested when I land. Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be the move. Also, worst case scenario, I have tons of snacks in my bag, as always, so I won't starve. $5 for a Lara bar is criminal. I gotta be honest, sometimes the Charlotte airport drives me absolutely nuts. The actual terminal is just like really thin, so it's always crowded. I always bring a plastic bottle on trips so that I don't feel like I'm traveling with something that's too much of a prized possession. Okay, nothing vegan, but I could probably have some of these sides. We've arrived! Or I've arrived since I'm solo, remember? This is where I'm staying. It was about a 6-minute walk from the train. It's 8 a.m. Check-in isn't normally until 3 p.m. But I got really lucky and it looks like my room is available now. They're just gonna have a housekeeping double check and then I'll be on my way out. So nice, I get to check in really early. I really like the vibes of this hotel so far. Wait guys, this is so cool. Here's my room and this is the key. These are all digital keys. I think that just unlocks my door. Whoa. Okay, so cool. Here's the room. It is teeny tiny, but perfect for just me. All right, now it's time to take the compression socks off, to shower, and then get going for the day. So nice landing so early. I've got the whole day ahead of me. I think I slept like 4 hours. There's a 6-hour time difference between here and Miami. So right now it's about 2 a.m. at home. But honestly, I feel really good. I could even go for breakfast right now. Let's go get breakfast. I sat for about 30 minutes looking on TikTok for restaurants and all the things, and that 30 minutes definitely made me a little sleepy, but we are pushing through. I will say I used ChatGPT to build an entire itinerary for me for this trip, which literally took 3 seconds, which was amazing. The only reason I was really using TikTok was to look at videos of the food at some of the restaurants that ChatGPT recommended, but like honestly, so helpful. The prompt that I used was, I need a 2-day itinerary in Munich as a female solo traveler who loves vegan food and vintage shopping. And it gave me so many great things to do and see and places to eat and shop. I'm actually really excited about it, and it really was so quick. ChatGPT is literally my favorite thing right now. I normally would buy Wi-Fi on the plane so that I could plan my days so that when I land, I can just hit the ground running. But all I had to do was give that prompt to ChatGPT, and then I had the itinerary built for me, saving me literally hours of time. And I didn't have to buy the $40 in-flight Wi-Fi. That's a win. I don't have a full-length mirror in here, but this is the outfit. It's my least favorite one for this entire trip. But today I'm just kind of walking around and getting a lay of the land. So I just want to be comfy and warm, and I feel like this is just doing it for me. Like, it's not awful, but like, I'm not obsessed. And unfortunately, I think I'm too tired to care at this exact moment. Will I regret it later? Maybe. My idea was to be in Munich for 3 nights, and only 3 nights because I have a work trip this weekend, so I have to be back in time for it. But when I landed, I saw that my trip traded to a later date. So that being said, now that I have 4 nights, I'm thinking I'll just do 2 nights in Munich and maybe take the train to Vienna and do 2 nights in Vienna to explore a little bit of Austria. I've never actually been to Germany, and I've never been to Austria. So today I checked off a new country, and if I go to Austria, then that's another one. I'm currently at 46 or 47 countries visited. Wild. Before I became a flight attendant, I had only ever been to 3 other countries outside of the US. So this is like crazy. I had a feeling that my work trip would trade or drop, so I only booked 2 nights in this hotel, and I figured if it didn't trade and then I did want to spend all 3 nights in Munich, then I would just book an extra night here. And if I had the extra time, which I have 1 extra day as of right now, then I was thinking I'd just do the train to Vienna or Salzburg. Both seem nice. I don't know, I'm just taking it day by day. Honestly, hour by hour or even minute by minute. I have no idea what I'm doing here. Literally no clue. I decided day before to come here, and then I almost backed out day of, but I'm glad I'm here. We're doing it full send, and we're gonna have a great trip. I am really questioning this outfit. Am I gonna like wake up in a few hours and think this is so ugly? Should I just put this sweater on instead? My goal, like, I just want to be like easy and comfy today. Like today I don't really like hair as much, you know? Okay, I changed because I did in fact hate that. I just put a gray tank on, and I have this little button down to keep me warm. A little what's in my bag. We've just got my ring light, wallet, portable charger, lip balm, electrolytes, hand sanitizer, a snack that I do not intend on eating because I want to eat everything out today, but I have it there in case of an emergency. Camera, water, Octobuddy thing. I'm also gonna bring my charger and converter, and then we're good to go. I wish I brought little organizer bags so that I could keep this bag a little more organized because it's kind of jumbled up. It's giving chaos, but we're gonna have to make do. I'm just gonna bring 1 card because in the event that I lose my wallet, I am completely screwed. Then I don't have any cards. So we're gonna split them up. This is what I typically do anyway, so I don't know why I was trying to bring my whole wallet. I'm over here like, I wish I had a little thing to keep everything organized in my bag. I could just use my camera case. Look, this fits everything perfectly. Think I can even put that there. Nope, little too tight, but close. I fear I'm gonna be talking to you guys a lot because it's really just us here. All right, let's go. Okay, I just got to Glockenspiel. At 11 a.m. they have a little clock dance that's going on. This is it. When 11 a.m. hits, I'll show you what it looks like.
Fine invisible dragon. That is the...
There was a little walking tour happening right next to me in English, happening right next to me, so I got to listen in a little bit and hear more about Munich and Glockenspiel. I like booking tours because I think it's a great way to learn. But this trip, I feel like I just kind of want to go at my own pace and not book any tours. But with Glockenspiel, I learned that the first layer retells a story. On the top layer, you see two knights fighting, and the bottom you see some dancing. Very, very cool. And apparently it is Munich's most popular landmark. Everywhere you walk, it just smells like fresh bread, or truthfully, just lots of different types of fresh food. It smells so good, and I'm like, where is this smell coming from? Because I want that. There's just like a good fragrance coming from everywhere, so I don't know. Okay, I just walked to, I'm gonna pronounce this so wrong, Victualienmarkt. Definitely wrong, but it's this really cool little square kind of near Glockenspiel that has plants and fruits and vegetables, like very like market vibes, and restaurants and people sitting. It's a good little place for people watching. Also, it's such a nice day out. It's like 68 degrees. When does this place open? A good to know tip, a lot of the places here only take cash. I wanted to buy a pretzel, it's just €1, but I don't have cash. So tomorrow I will have cash with me, and I left my debit card, which is essential for taking cash out of the ATM, which I forgot about. So I will make sure I have that with me tomorrow. I've just been walking around a few different neighborhoods for the last few hours. I feel myself fading, but I'm pushing through because if I fall asleep before 9 p.m., I will wake up in the middle of the night, and I do not want that to happen. So we're pushing through, and I'm just gonna keep walking and walking and walking. It'll be good for me. I feel like I don't walk this much in Miami, so I probably need this. Nobody jaywalks here. Everyone waits for the walking sign to turn green, which I think is interesting. It's not natural to me, but I've been following the rules too. Jet lag is hitting me. I don't feel awful, but I'm definitely feeling jet lag symptoms. And I would have prepared a little better if I decided more than just 24 hours before this trip that I was gonna come here. But you gotta work with what you got. This room is so hot. I don't really know how to use this thermostat, so we gotta figure that out. The window's open in the meantime, and it feels really nice. I think I'm ready to go back out. My dependency on ChatGPT is actually a little concerning. I'm like, where should I go for dinner in Munich tonight? And it already knows I have vegan preferences, but I don't need full vegan restaurants. Like, wow, so cool. Yeah, like literally this is everything. It just gives me all these recommendations with the map, their ratings. Who needs a travel advisor when you have ChatGPT? I looked up the whole thing with jaywalking, and apparently it is not common. It's looked down upon to jaywalk here, especially in front of kids. So I'm not gonna jaywalk. I am now very cautious. I don't want to set a bad example. Gotta get it out of my system. I heard about this dessert place that apparently has amazing vegan cinnamon rolls, and they're open till 11 p.m. Love that. It's like 10:15 right now. So I picked up a cinnamon roll. I have the rest of my dinner to go that I'm gonna put in the fridge. Maybe I'll try the cinnamon roll tonight. Kind of feeling it. So I just learned something. Apparently there is no air conditioning this time of year. So this whole time I was adjusting this thermostat thinking one way was hot, one way was cold. It was just all hot, which is why it's so freaking warm in here. They were like, oh my gosh, how hot is your room? And I was like, it's really hot. And they're like, okay, go upstairs, turn it off, and we'll bring you a fan. I have a fan. Bless. It's cold outside. I finally had to put this on, but man, is it toasty in here. All right, time to try the cinnamon roll. They warmed it up for me. They were so nice in there. How freaking fire does this cinnamon roll look? Really good. Also, this doesn't feel that sweet. I feel like all the ones in the US are loaded with crap, and this one actually feels pretty light and lightly sweetened. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this was like sweetened with like coconut sugar or something. Let's just say it's healthy. I packed so many sweaters for this trip, not realizing it would be so hot, and I only brought one tank top. This is it. So I'm wearing the same one 2 days in a row, which is not ideal, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm just gonna go buy another one later, so it's an excuse to shop. So I just arrived in Dachau, which might sound familiar because this is the city in which one of the concentration camps from World War II was, and there's a memorial there today. And I feel it is my responsibility to visit, being here in Munich, to pay my respects and to see it in person. I'm not going to record on the inside because I know it's going to be really heavy. That was incredibly emotional. I spent about 2.5 hours walking around. If you're in Munich or in the surrounding areas, I definitely recommend adding this to your itinerary. Okay, so apparently there's river surfing in Munich. This is epic. Wait, this looks like so much fun. I'm loving this little solo trip, but I feel like when I travel with other people, I always make friends. Probably just because I feel more comfortable with other people, and when I'm solo, I'm kind of like, I don't know. Maybe solo traveling just brings out the antisocial side in me. But wow, this looks like fun. So cute out.
Good morning. I'm heading to Salzburg, Austria today.
While I was researching what to do in Salzburg, I found out that this is where The Sound of Music was filmed. So I'm gonna go for one night and do a little Sound of Music tour. Either book a tour or do a DIY tour, depending on how I feel when I get there. And availability and seeing how it fits within my schedule. And then I'm gonna go to this place called Werfen. It's probably pronounced like Werfen, but that one's about an hour outside of Salzburg, and that's where the Hills Are Alive scenes were filmed. So that is top on my bucket list. I didn't know that was one of my bucket list items, but it is now. And I'm so excited. I love The Sound of Music, so I think this will be really fun. The second I posted I was in Munich, so many of you guys were like, oh my gosh, hello, can I give you Rex, please? And I definitely wish I would have asked you guys on Instagram before. However, as you know, I didn't really know I was coming here until day before, and still even tried to back out of the solo trip day of. So by the time I was actually on the way, I was kind of just like a ball of chaos. And then I did a little story poll, like, guess where I'm going? Because I love, you know, a little surprise moment on Instagram stories. But definitely would have been helpful to just tell you guys and then, you know, take in all your recs. I appreciate them so much. If you have any other recommendations outside of what I've done in this vlog, please leave them in the comments so that you can help other people that might be traveling to here or Salzburg anytime in the future. Bye, Munich.
Minus the little air conditioning situation, that hotel was really great. When I arrived from the airport, I was like a 4 or 5 minute walk to the hotel from the train station. And now to get to the main train station that's gonna bring me to Salzburg, it's only an 8-minute walk. I'm here about 30 minutes early because it's a little chaotic in here. It's actually very calm compared to I think what it would look like in the US, but overall for someone who's never been here, it's definitely a little chaotic, so I recommend getting here a little early so you can go grab a little bite, walk into the little shops, and know where you're gonna be so you don't miss your train. It's a little stale from a few days ago, but still good. I'm really excited about this hotel. It actually looks really cute and it's so close to the train station. That's the train station and that's the hotel. Okay, I love Salzburg. Not only did I have water brought to the table without me asking or anything, and it was complimentary, but also I had literally the nicest server in the entire world. My phone was about to die, so I asked if I could charge it. She was like, oh my gosh, of course, I'll watch it for you. And then she brought it back in, she kept refilling my water. It's like the little things. And then when I went to pay, she was like, I can keep your phone here if you want to, like if you're gonna walk around for a little bit, you can just come back later for it if you need it to charge. And I was like, Stop, that is so nice. I was like, I'll actually just take it because I have to go. But like, that is such a kind offer. And while I was eating lunch, I was just kind of like people watching, writing in my journal. And every person that walked by me was like genuinely content. Like on a bike smiling, like sitting and drinking a cappuccino across the street smiling. And truly everyone here just seems like genuinely happy. Not like a fake happy and just like you're only smiling because you're having fun in that moment, which is also great to smile and have fun in the moment. But at least from my perspective, it seems like everyone here is like happy to their core. It is so beautiful to witness and it's inspiring, honestly. I went back to the hotel to change into a cutesy little dress for the Sound of Music Hills in Werfen. I'm so excited, except ChatGPT did me dirty. I asked ChatGPT if it covered my trip to Werfen, and ChatGPT said yes. And then I was just standing here on the platform and I was like, let me double check because it doesn't feel right because I'm going pretty far out of Salzburg. And I checked again and my ticket does not, in fact, cover my trip to Werfen. So I just had to go spurring down the stairs to buy a round trip ticket. It was like 26 euros, so not bad. But it did cause me a little bit of stress. It's not like my tickets were checked any of the trains that I've been on so far, minus from the airport into the city. But better safe than sorry. I don't want to be stuck with a fine for having an invalid ticket. Walk. A lot colder here. It's very quiet and I don't know if it's just because it's like a small town or I'm missing something and torrential rain pour is about to happen. It's definitely a little gloomy over here. I've got a pep in my step. I'm so excited. Fair warning, it's a proper hike. I haven't worked out in a few days, so this is good for me. Okay, I'm climbing through a fence. Wait a second. Oh my god, not the fence actually just being able to be opened. Oy vey. I saw those two girls up there and I'm like, how the heck did they get through? Must be through this fence. All right, it's not actually against the rules. So incredibly peaceful. I can't get over these views. Absolutely stunning. So the two girls that I pointed out in the video when I first arrived, they're American and they're so nice. They also helped me take some videos. Both of them are film majors, so I think I asked literally the perfect person to help with creative direction. And I'm gonna insert the clip here because it's so good. Looking like Lord Farquaad over here. Is that how you say his name? The little short guy from Shrek. Anyway, I don't know how I ended up in this place to live the life that I live. Like, what did I do in my life to deserve this? Like, I am so grateful. How is this my life? I don't understand. Like, it's a random Thursday in April. I'm in Austria on a solo trip just for fun because I decided to. Like, how was that my life? This is my dream life. Does it get better than this? I don't know. I feel like I'm peaking. There are certain moments that I have in my life where I'm like, can I even top this? This feels like one of those days, one of those moments. Can I top this? I'm not so sure. This is so good. I'm just kidding. We're not gonna think like that. We can be grateful and still know the best is yet to come. Here's to many more fun days like this. Hi, chickies. Wow. I am on a high. Nothing could tear me down right now. I didn't go to this castle, but look how cool that is. I saw some videos on TikTok of people visiting it and it looks amazing. I just don't think I'm gonna go today. These little homes are so darling. What it would be like to live in this neighborhood. Everything is picture perfect. Imagine waking up to these mountains every day. I do have to say, I'm very proud of myself for coming on this trip because I don't know how many times I need to say it, but you guys know I almost backed out of this trip. And I'm so grateful that I pushed past the discomfort and the unknown, any scary thoughts that could have possibly gone through my mind. And I just jumped and I did it. And I'm so happy and I'm so proud of myself. Do I think I will be a solo traveler for life? No, because I love my friend trips. I love my Rafi trips. I love my family trips. But could I do this again? Absolutely. Would I love it again? Absolutely. Was I just like so tired in Munich that Austria feels like 3,000 times better at this exact moment? I know I've only been here for 2.5 seconds, but I love Austria so much. Should I move here? Sharing this in case this is helpful for anyone. So my train, 4:47. I'm taking the S-Bahn 3. My platform is 3C, and all the platforms are labeled. That's a lot of Mercedes. Oh my gosh. The really nice server from the restaurant earlier gave me this little complimentary sweet treat. It got a little smushed in my bag, and I have no idea what it is, but let's do a taste test. Whoa. It's really good. It's kind of like banana chia something on the bottom and then like crispy on the top. It's really good. The sweaters ended up being a good call after all. Also, they did check for tickets both ways on the train. This was my sign if I needed it to not cheat the system. Okay, this room slays. This is the bathroom. Okay, very happy with this hotel room. My last one was like $85 a night, and this one I think was $125, which $85 for the last one was very inexpensive, and you get what you pay for. As you know, it was very hot in the room my entire stay. $125 for a hotel like this actually feels like a really good deal. Let's check the view. Oh, she's gorge. Wow. That restaurant was called Taj Mahal. It's Indian food, obviously. And there's like 2,000 5-star reviews online. So I was like, I have to go there. I walked in, packed, absolutely packed. I was like, all right, I'm not gonna get a table immediately. The guy told me to come back in 45 minutes. So I was like, perfect. You know, I did my little walk and came back. And then I waited another 30 minutes. And I was kind of like, I'm fine. I'm not like starving. Otherwise I would have just gone somewhere else. But I finally was seated and the food was really good. I wouldn't say it was like the best I've ever had, but I did think it was really good. And I would probably go back. I love Miami, but the majority of places we go out to eat, we finish eating, we get back in the car, and we drive home. There are few things I love more than a post-dinner walk. It's my last full day. Kind of sad for it to come to an end, but I'm glad that I'm getting to use this jacket and that it wasn't just a waste of space. This is why I always have an umbrella packed in my bag. Honestly, I haven't used this umbrella in a really long time, so it's rusted and you can hear the rust. I've been taking selfies over there, not realizing this is the front. Now these are happy cows. Look at this luscious grass for them. Okay, recap of what I just did. From the Abbey, I took the bus. It's about a 10-minute drive to Helburn Palace. You can buy tickets and go inside the palace, or you can just walk the grounds. My purpose for wanting to go to the Helburn Palace was to see the gazebo. Apparently the scene was not actually shot there. The gazebo was just relocated there. And that was so cool. I'm walking now to Schloss Fronberg, which is about a 25-minute walk from Helburn Palace. And this is the house that they used as the front exterior of the Von Trapp house. Next, I'm going to Schloss Leopoldskron, I think is how you say it. And that is where they used the exterior of the back of the Von Trapp house and the river. I am out here doing all the Sound of Music things. I'm back in Munich. My flight home tomorrow is at 9 in the morning. I decided to book a hotel near the airport because the thought of trekking all the way from the city to the airport at 5 in the morning to make my flight just did not sound that great. I got the commute out of the way today, so I don't have to worry about it tomorrow. She's showered, the skincare is done. She has the Invisalign in, and she's just about ready for bed. It was a long day today. I did a lot of walking and then also a lot of sitting. The train ride from Salzburg back to Munich was about 3 hours this way. On the way over, it was like 2:10, 2:15. I think there was construction or something, so it took a really long time getting back. And then once I made it back to the central station in Munich, I had to work my way towards the airport to this hotel, which took an hour on the train and bus. So all day of walking and then 4 hours of sitting. This has really been such a nice trip. I'm glad to go home, but I'm also sad that it's ending. This was my first solo trip. I'll never be able to say that again. And if you saw on Instagram, I posted a little reel with the text, money returns, but I'll never be on my first solo trip in my 20s again. I know it's sort of like a trendy Instagram post sort of thing, but it's so true. And it actually makes me emotional. Wow. Life is cool. I'll do my official outro at the airport tomorrow after we figure out what seat on the plane I end up with. There are a few seats open in business class and a few seats open in the back, but the loads have kind of been shifting all day, so I can't really gauge what seat I'm gonna have. So we'll figure out together tomorrow if I end up in possibly business class or, you know, 33E in the very back of the plane. But whatever seat it is, let's just be clear, I am incredibly grateful. But in the meantime, I want to say thank you so much for joining me on this very special trip. It really, really, really means the world. And I'm so glad we got to experience this together. That's the end of this vlog. Thanks for joining me. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next video.